Have you noticed that your legs don't quite feel the same anymore? That simple act of walking across the room or climbing a few steps suddenly feels heavier, slower, almost as if your body is carrying a weight you can't see. Many people believe this is just normal aging, something inevitable that we must all accept after 60. But what if I told you that the silent weakness creeping into your legs isn't just about getting older? It's about something deeper happening inside your body, and it might be reversed if you know where to look. This is where the story gets interesting, because the decline you're experiencing is not simply fate. It is the result of hidden changes, a gradual loss of muscle strength, reduced blood flow, and low-level inflammation that quietly erodes your independence without you realizing it. Wisdom beyond 60, dear everyone. Today we're diving into a truth that most doctors rarely explain in detail. The medical term is sarcopenia, and nearly half of adults over 60 are affected. This isn't only about muscle mass vanishing, it's about losing freedom. It means losing the ability to carry groceries without strain, losing the steadiness to walk confidently down the street, and even losing the simple joy of playing with grandchildren. The shocking part is how quickly it can happen. One day you feel fine, the next day you notice your legs trembling during a short walk, or your balance faltering when getting up from a chair. That slow, unsettling shift is the real alarm bell. But here's the mystery I want you to lean into. If muscle loss is so common, why do some people over 60 still walk strong, vibrant, and independent, while others become frail and dependent far too soon? The answer is not as complicated as it sounds. In fact, the difference often lies in a few small daily choices, habits that either drain your vitality or rebuild it. And sometimes the solution can be as simple as what you choose to drink. Not medication, not hours of punishing exercise, but a warm cup that carries compounds your body craves in order to repair itself. It almost sounds too simple, but when science meets tradition, we discover something extraordinary: the power of 3 specific teas that have been shown to wake up circulation, calm inflammation, and restore strength to aging muscles. This might sound unbelievable at first. After all, can a cup of tea really fight back against years of decline? That's exactly why you must keep listening, because behind every sip lies a story your body has been waiting to tell, the story of recovery. Imagine being able to walk farther without pain, to stand taller without fear of losing balance, to feel your legs steady beneath you again. These are not just hopes, they are possibilities within reach. And once you understand how these teas work, you will see that the future of your mobility doesn't have to be one of decline. It can be one of renewal. I want you to stay with me until the end of this video, because each step we take through this journey will peel back another layer of the mystery. The first tea we uncover might already change the way you think about your morning routine. And by the time we reach the last one, you will understand why countless people over 60 have quietly regained strength, energy, and confidence in ways they never thought possible. If you find value in this, please take a moment to subscribe to Beyond 60 Wisdom. Your support is the fuel that allows us to keep creating videos like this, so we can continue to share insights that truly change lives. Now, let me leave you with a question to spark your reflection and invite you to join the conversation. If you had to choose, what would you value more as you grow older? A, the freedom to move independently wherever you wish. B, the energy to feel lively and active each day. Comment your answer below with A or B. Your response might inspire someone else who is facing the same struggles, and together we can build a community of wisdom and strength beyond 60. There is something timeless and almost poetic about the power of roots and spices. They have been part of human healing traditions for centuries, long before modern medicine began measuring molecules or writing prescriptions. And yet today, we now have science confirming what ancient wisdom always seemed to know. The combination of ginger and turmeric, when prepared properly, can be one of the most effective and gentle ways to restore strength to aging legs. If you have ever noticed your steps feel heavier, or that your balance seems less reliable, there's a strong chance that circulation and inflammation are playing silent roles in weakening your muscles. Ginger and turmeric together begin to answer that challenge. Ginger is not just a spice you toss into a recipe. Within its fibrous roots are compounds called gingerols, which naturally encourage blood to flow more freely through vessels that may have stiffened with age. Why does this matter? Because your muscles, especially in your legs, are located at the farthest point from your heart. If blood does not reach them efficiently, they tire quickly, they struggle to repair after use, and they lose their ability to perform. This is one reason many older adults describe their legs as feeling heavy or slow, even after something as light as a walk to the mailbox. Ginger gently opens the pathways again, allowing oxygen-rich blood to nourish muscles that have long been underfed. Turmeric brings its own gift, and it is one the scientific community has grown increasingly fascinated by: curcumin. This golden pigment is a powerful anti-inflammatory agent, but here's the truth: on its own, your body struggles to absorb it. That is why the secret lies in pairing turmeric with just a small pinch of black pepper. The pepper contains piperine, which dramatically increases how much curcumin your body can actually use. With this combination, low-grade inflammation that often lingers in aging muscles can finally begin to subside. And when that quiet but constant inflammation eases, movement becomes smoother, recovery comes faster, and pain no longer overshadows every step. One of the most overlooked benefits of drinking ginger and turmeric together as a tea is hydration. Many older adults do not realize they are mildly dehydrated, especially in cooler weather when the thirst signal weakens. Muscles and joints deprived of water are more prone to stiffness and fatigue. A warm cup of this tea addresses not just circulation and inflammation, but also replenishes fluid in a way that is comforting and easy to repeat daily. In other words, every sip is doing three things at once: carrying oxygen, calming inflammation, and replenishing hydration. It is not a quick fix, but rather a consistent reminder to your body that healing is possible. Now, let us talk about the ritual itself, because the ritual matters as much as the compounds. When you slice fresh ginger root, add a teaspoon of turmeric powder or a piece of fresh turmeric, and let it steep in hot water for 10 to 15 minutes, you are not just making a drink, you are creating a signal. You are telling your body, it is morning, it is time to awaken, it is time to rebuild. Add a pinch of black pepper, perhaps a little lemon for brightness or honey for comfort, and suddenly the act becomes not only medicinal, but enjoyable. And when something is enjoyable, you are far more likely to do it every single day, which is the true secret of long-term recovery: consistency. Many seniors ask whether this is just like taking a supplement in pill form. The difference is that tea delivers these compounds gradually in a form your body can absorb while simultaneously keeping you hydrated. Pills may deliver a dose, but they do not give you the ritual. They do not bring warmth into your hands or offer the comfort of a slow sip. That comfort is not trivial. It is part of the healing process because it makes the practice sustainable. Strength is not built overnight, and it is not built through sporadic effort. It is built through daily signals repeated over and over until the body learns to trust that it can heal again. This tea is not meant to replace essential medication or the guidance of your doctor, but it is a foundation, a gentle ally that works with your body rather than against it. Over weeks and months, you may find that climbing stairs feels less daunting, that recovery after a walk is quicker, and that the ache you once thought permanent has begun to soften. These are the quiet victories of ginger and turmeric. They do not shout, they whisper, but their whispers are powerful enough to reshape how your legs carry you into the years ahead. There comes a moment in life when the real challenge is not just weakness in the body, but exhaustion in the spirit. Many older adults tell me, I know I should move more, but I just don't feel like it anymore. This is where the second tea combination reveals its true power, not simply as a drink, but as a bridge between the body and the mind. The pairing of ginseng and green tea is unique because it doesn't rely on brute stimulation or quick bursts of energy. Instead, it gently reawakens your natural systems, lifting both physical stamina and mental clarity in a way that feels steady, not overwhelming. Ginseng has long been called an adaptogen, a word that means it helps your body adapt to stress. And stress at this stage of life often doesn't look like anxiety or panic. It shows up quietly, in slower recovery times, in legs that fatigue sooner than they should, in the way you lose coordination and no longer trust your balance. Stress wears down the body like water on stone, soft, constant, unrelenting. Ginseng works against that erosion. It restores vitality at a cellular level, so your muscles remember what it feels like to endure without faltering. Green tea adds a complementary layer that makes this blend remarkable. Within its leaves are antioxidants called catechins, especially one known as EGCG. These compounds protect your muscles from the oxidative damage that accelerates with age. They also keep blood vessels supple, improving circulation and helping your legs feel lighter, steadier, more reliable. But perhaps the most underestimated gift of green tea is L-theanine, a natural amino acid that balances the effect of caffeine. Instead of the spike and crash cycle you may have felt from coffee, green tea creates a calm, focused alertness. When you pair that with the invigorating properties of ginseng, the result is not jittery stimulation, but an energizing calm, the perfect state for motivation to return. Motivation itself is an overlooked piece of the puzzle. I've worked with older adults who weren't incapable of moving. They were simply drained of the will to begin. That is why this tea is more than nutrition. It becomes a daily ritual that revives not only your body, but your desire to use it. I remember one man in his late 70s who had survived a heart scare. Physically, he was cleared to walk, but emotionally he was stuck. Each morning began in fatigue and ended in frustration. Together we created a simple habit, a cup of ginseng green tea mid-morning, paired with just 5 minutes of leg movement. The first week was hard. The second week showed glimmers of progress. By the 6th week, he told me, I feel like someone flipped the switch back on. It wasn't just his body that grew stronger, it was his spirit that re-engaged. Preparation matters too. To make this tea properly, allow boiling water to cool slightly before steeping, so the delicate catechins in green tea remain intact. 2 to 3 minutes is enough for the leaves, then add thin slices of fresh ginseng root or a small amount of powder, allowing it to blend for several minutes more. A touch of honey or lemon is perfectly fine, and in warmer months, enjoying it chilled can be refreshing without losing its potency. The best time to drink this blend is late morning, after breakfast, but before lunch, when your body's natural rhythms are ready for steady energy. This timing avoids any interference with sleep and ensures you enjoy alertness that carries through the day. Another reason this tea is so important is the connection it fosters between your brain and your muscles. Movement does not begin in the legs, it begins in the brain. As we age, that communication line can weaken, not just because of nerve damage, but because of underuse. Ginseng and green tea both protect neural pathways, keeping the brain-muscle loop strong. This means quicker reaction times, steadier steps, and fewer missteps that can lead to falls. It also means that when you want to move, your body responds as it should. Not everyone will tolerate ginseng, especially those with certain heart or blood pressure concerns. That is why it is important to consult a physician before making it a daily practice. But for most healthy older adults, this tea blend is safe, supportive, and deeply effective. More importantly, it is sustainable. Drinking tea is not a burden, it is a small act of care. And when that act becomes consistent, the transformation it creates is anything but small. This is how strength returns, not through drastic change, but through quiet, steady signals that remind your body and your spirit of what they are still capable of. When the day winds down and your body longs for rest, there is often another battle quietly unfolding inside you. It is not the kind of fatigue that disappears with a nap, but a deeper exhaustion born from stress hormones that remain elevated long after they should have calmed. For many older adults, this hidden stress cycle steals energy before the day even begins, leaving legs heavy, movement stiff, and recovery incomplete. This is where ashwagandha root tea becomes a powerful ally. Unlike quick fixes that mask symptoms, this ancient adaptogen helps reset the body's balance from within, creating the environment your muscles and nerves need to truly repair. Ashwagandha has been used in traditional medicine for thousands of years, but only recently has science begun to confirm its role in regulating the body's stress response. At the core is cortisol, the hormone meant to rise when we face challenges and then drop back down when the challenge passes. But in later years, cortisol often lingers at unhealthy levels, weakening muscle tissue, disturbing sleep, and interfering with hormones that drive strength and vitality. Ashwagandha gently lowers that excess, teaching your body to quiet its stress response so that healing can take place. This is not about shutting down stress entirely. It is about restoring balance so your body knows when to fight and when to rest. Sleep is the second pillar of recovery, and it is one most people underestimate. Muscle fibers do not rebuild while you are awake and moving. They repair themselves at night in the deeper stages of sleep when growth hormone is released. If your nights are shallow, restless, or constantly interrupted, then no amount of nutrition or exercise can compensate for what is lost. Ashwagandha tea supports this vital process by calming the nervous system. It enhances the activity of GABA, a neurotransmitter that promotes relaxation, allowing your mind to settle and your body to sink into restorative sleep. That is why I often recommend drinking it about an hour before bedtime, turning the simple act of sipping tea into a signal to the body. It's time to recover. The benefits, however, extend beyond sleep and stress. Nerve health is another critical piece often overlooked. Muscles can only move as well as the signals they receive from the brain. With age, this communication can slow or weaken, leading to missteps, poor coordination, and even falls. Studies have shown that ashwagandha has neuroprotective qualities, helping nerves transmit signals more efficiently and reducing oxidative stress in the brain. In real terms, that means steadier steps, quicker reactions, and a stronger sense of control over your movements. For someone who has felt unsteady for years, that renewed connection between brain and muscle can be life-changing. The ritual of preparing this tea is also meaningful. A teaspoon of dried ashwagandha root, gently simmered for 10 to 15 minutes, creates a drink that is earthy and grounding. The flavor can be softened with a slice of cinnamon, a touch of honey, or even dried orange peel. It is not just about taste. It is about creating a nightly routine your body learns to expect. The repetition itself becomes therapeutic. As you hold the warm cup, your breathing slows, your heart rate calms, and your nervous system receives the signal to shift from survival mode into recovery mode. That is the space where true healing begins. What makes ashwagandha especially powerful is that it doesn't just target one system. It touches multiple points of vulnerability in aging: stress, sleep, nerves, hormones, and recovery. By addressing all of these together, it creates the conditions for your muscles to grow stronger, your energy to feel renewed, and your spirit to feel lighter. It is not a miracle cure, and it does not replace medical care, but it is a simple, accessible tool that many older adults can weave into their lives. Over weeks of consistent use, the difference can be profound. Nights become more restful, mornings more energized, and daily movements less of a struggle. For someone over 60, those changes are not small. They are the foundation for reclaiming independence. And it begins with one small cup in the quiet of the evening. What truly matters at this stage of life is not grand, dramatic changes, but the small daily signals we send to our bodies. Strength after 60 is rarely rebuilt by a single breakthrough or one-time effort. It comes from simple choices repeated with consistency, choices that slowly rewrite the story your body has been living. That is why these 3 teas, ginger turmeric, ginseng green, and ashwagandha, carry such significance. They are not just drinks, they are daily reminders that your body is still capable of renewal if only you provide the right environment for it to happen. Each cup serves as a conversation with your own biology. In the morning, when you sip ginger and turmeric, you are telling your circulation to awaken, your inflammation to calm, and your muscles to prepare for movement. By mid-morning, ginseng and green tea speak to your energy systems, lifting fatigue, sharpening focus, and reigniting the motivation to stay active. In the evening, ashwagandha root tea whispers to your nervous system, it is time to release, to rest, to rebuild. Day after day, These signals accumulate, and what once felt like slow decline begins to feel like steady recovery. This is not theory. It is the lived experience of countless older adults who have discovered that consistency is more powerful than any quick fix. The act of drinking tea may seem small, but the meaning behind it is profound. It creates a rhythm in your life, a structure that your body learns to anticipate. And that structure matters because as we grow older, unpredictability becomes the enemy of health. Sleep patterns shift, energy levels rise and fall, and stress lingers longer than it should. Establishing rituals, even something as modest as 3 specific teas at 3 specific times, helps restore order to those rhythms. It tells your body there is a pattern again, and within that pattern lies stability and healing. What often surprises people is how much the emotional side of this practice matters. Taking the time to prepare tea is not just about nutrients, it's about claiming a moment of care for yourself. Too often, older adults feel reduced to medical instructions, pill bottles, and lists of what they cannot do. But tea is different. It is gentle, enjoyable, and rooted in a sense of tradition. Each sip is a declaration that you are not powerless, that you can take part in your own recovery. That sense of agency alone has real effects on health, because when the mind believes change is possible, the body is far more likely to follow. Of course, it is important to be clear. These teas are not replacements for medical treatment, nor are they miracle cures. They are supports, allies that make every other effort you take, nutrition, light exercise, good sleep, work better. Their true gift is not in being dramatic, but in being sustainable. Anyone can try a strict program for a week. Few can sustain it for a lifetime. But a cup of tea, that is something you can carry with you every day, for months, for years, without feeling burdened. That is why the results are so real, because the habit endures. Think about what 30 days of consistency could mean for you. 1 month of waking your circulation in the morning, steadying your energy in the day, and restoring your nervous system at night. The change may not be loud, but it will be noticeable. In steadier steps, in lighter moods, in deeper sleep, and in greater confidence when you move. And after 30 days, when you realize your body has been listening all along, you will understand that the journey does not end here. These teas are only the beginning. There are other practices, other simple but powerful habits that can build upon this foundation and carry your strength even further. The path to vitality after 60 is still unfolding, and the next steps may surprise you. As we come to the end of this journey together, I want you to pause for a moment and reflect on what we have uncovered. Too often, aging is spoken about only in terms of loss of muscle, loss of energy, loss of independence. But what you've just learned is that there are still simple, powerful ways to send your body a different message. Your legs do not have to carry the story of decline. Through small, consistent habits, like the 3 T's we've discussed, you can begin to write a new story, one of renewal, steadiness, and strength. The truth is, your body is always listening. Every choice you make, every ritual you practice is a signal. And even at 60, 70, or 80, your body still responds when you remind it that it is capable of healing. The power of ginger and turmeric to improve circulation and reduce inflammation, the energy and focus supported by ginseng and green tea, and the calming, restorative balance of ashwagandha, all of these are tools that show us something profound. They remind us that healing isn't just about medicine, it's about rhythm, consistency, and belief in your body's ability to adapt. The lesson here is deeply positive. You are never too old to start again. Progress is not about doing everything at once, but about choosing one step, one habit, and repeating it until it becomes part of who you are. Imagine what can happen in 30 days if you decide to add even one of these teas to your daily life. Picture your mornings beginning with warmth and circulation, your afternoons carrying more energy and clarity, your evenings closing with calm and deep sleep. These aren't impossible dreams. They are the results of small, steady acts of care. For older adults, the best gift you can give yourself is not perfection, but consistency. And consistency, more than anything else, builds strength. So I encourage you to see this not as advice to be admired and forgotten, but as an invitation to act. Try it for yourself. Let your body experience what it feels like to receive these signals day after day. Share your journey with others, because your story might be the very thing that inspires someone else to take their first step back towards strength and confidence. Now I want to ask you a simple question, and I'd love for you to share your answer in the comments. If you had to choose just one area to improve in the next month, would it be A, more steady energy during the day, or B, deeper, more restful sleep at night? Comment below with your answer, and let's see what matters most to you. If you found this video meaningful and inspiring, please support our channel Beyond 60 Wisdom by subscribing. Leave a comment with your thoughts and share this video with your friends so that together we can spread wisdom and strength to those who need it most. Your feedback helps us improve and create even more helpful content for you. Thank you, truly, from the bottom of our hearts, for spending this time with us. Your presence here gives us the motivation to keep creating videos filled with care, encouragement, and real value. Let's continue this journey side by side, building a community of hope, resilience, and daily wisdom.